Right, so the last week on eBay has been a bit interesting. So, biggest thing though was starting November 1st, patches were now qualified for eBay standard envelope, which is absolutely huge and a total game changer for me, that's for sure. So I'm very glad that they finally added it in. Of course, now they do it after I've pretty much stopped adding patches. I don't really do patches anymore, but it's nice for all of the my backlog of 1,200 plus listings of patches. So there's that. I had this buyer right here try and pull a scam on me, and the weekend sales absolutely sucked. I got, I think, 5 things between both accounts. Now there on both of them there was, each had one good one. Good price wise, anyways. Which we'll get into kind of at the end once we get to the those sales. So, starting off with this Fire Inspector 2 patch for $4.99. Like I said, the buyer tried pulling a fast one, tried scamming me, and sent me a message of saying he received, the envelope, and it had been ripped open. It got ripped open, I guess, like in transit, he's trying to claim, and the patch is not in it. I told him, for starters, I didn't send it with tracking. That's not an envelope I'd use anyways. And you can clearly see on the label the tracking number, and the return address was California. So that's how I knew he was trying to scam me. So I tried telling him that you're talking to the wrong person here. No, I didn't leave the message open. You're talking to the wrong person. That's immediately what I immediately replied with is you contacted the wrong seller. That's you contacted the wrong seller. So, go figure out who's the right person to send a message to, not me. But he's, trying to tell me, no, you're the only one that I bought him from. And I looked on, like at the order history, you're who I bought it from. Kept telling him, no, that's not who I bought it. You got it. That's not who you got it from. And I actually plugged in the tracking number, and the tracking number was created October, I think, 25th. And he bought this on the 31st. And mind you, too, this was after like 3 or 4 days when he sent this message to. This was, it couldn't have even, I don't even think it would have arrived yet. But long story short, I told him I didn't send it with tracking, and that, once I told him that, then he understood, apparently, that I'm not, that he's talking to the wrong person here. But luckily this was only done in, like, messages. He didn't open, like, an item not received case, or, he didn't actually open up a case with eBay. He was just sending it through messages. And when I checked my feedback today, he left positive feedback, so I don't know. But, once I said I didn't send it with tracking, then it clicked in his head that he wasn't talking to the right person or something. I don't quite get it, but yeah, trying to pull a fast one. I was about ready to, message me. I got a buyer who's trying to, scam me here. In case he did actually open something, but, I was able to talk some sense into him, and he figured out what he was doing. Alright, next was this Pet Safe wireless pet containment system. This is the one that the guy returned, and he originally didn't send me the manual back. But luckily I messaged him, and he sent out the manual, so that was good, because obviously this is something that you kind of need the manual for, because otherwise you're not going to have a clue what you're doing. You won't have a single clue what you're doing. But also I noticed he sent back another one of these black things is a tester. I forget what it's supposed to test, but something with the collar. It's a test, and then there's 2 other studs that I'm pretty sure were not. That I'm pretty sure I looked back on the photos or not what I sent him. He sent those. Those I didn't send him those. I don't know where they came from. And then he forgot the manual, like I said. So, and then I'm pretty sure some of the packaging in the box was missing. I don't think I showed it. No, I didn't. The actual cardboard in the box was missing. So, There's a couple pieces of cardboard missing in the box. Not a big deal at all in that. So, but resold it again for $100 plus 15 ship. Sold it in like 2 days. It wasn't hard to resell it again, which is good. Because that was obviously a big hit to the total for that pallet. Although I'm at just over break even now, so everything else that I have left from that Home Depot pallet is profit at this point. But obviously that $100 was a big holdup. Next, sold another 3-pack of this Dove deodorant, and I thought I changed the photo. Is this seriously what I changed it to? Because I wanted to change it because this photo, is kind of crappy. Even though I've still sold, 3 of them over the last month. I wanted to update it with a better photo. So sold that for $24.99. These next 3 things all sold together, to the same buyer, 10% off. This Cornell University, Fire Medic, this Putnam County Volunteer Firemen's Association, and then this New Rochelle Fire, all sold 10% off. Next was Gloucester Township, Fire District, sold this out on offer $6.29. And I think this was the first thing that I sent eBay standard envelope. Because I remember at first it didn't work. When you went to go print first, print the label or try to list one, like earlier in the day. But by nighttime it finally did show up as an option. So, but there's one on the other account that when I showed you, the New Orleans one, no matter what I did, it just didn't want to come up. So that was the last thing that I sent out my normal standard way. And I ran the numbers on sending it with standard envelope. If the patch is small enough where it's in one of the smaller bags, it only increased my cost by 2 cents. Now, if it's in a bigger bag, it jumps up to 81 cents from 75. So obviously still well under the dollar. So if it's in a bigger bag, a slightly bigger patch, it will, and it has to go into like a bigger envelope, that will cut into my margins on shipping a little bit, but it's well worth it to have that tracking. So now there's no more of the I didn't receive my patch, it got quote unquote lost in the mail, which I very rarely ever believe that, because I've only ever had it happen once in the hundreds of patches I've ever ordered. So it's obviously great protection for me now to have a tracking number associated with it. So next is this Kern County Sheriff's. This, I'm pretty sure, like I said, was either the first or second thing that I ever sent. So $5.99 in that. Now this next thing, oh my god. Oh, that was the other thing. This buyer was the most annoying buyer I think I've had yet. So, alright. As you can see, listed for, they get called like that all the time of people just like sitting in their cars out front. It's just people just sitting in their cars. So anyways, like I said, like I was talking about, this buyer, one of the most annoying buyers I've had yet. So as you can see, I had it listed originally for $14.99, and then I ended up adding best offer later. That's part of the story. So I had it listed for $14.99. Guy sent me a message, would I take, or basically wanting to send an offer, kind of like, why won't you let me send it or whatever, because it's not originally part of the listing. Because pretty much my philosophy is I don't have best offer on. It's my price is pretty much, it's take it or leave it kind of thing. Now people do on occasion will send me a message, offering lower, and a lot of times I will take it because I just want to get it moved. But as you can see, it's $14.99 free ship. Come on, man. So wrote back, what are you wanting to offer? And he pretty much said, like, he'd do, like, $11.99, $12.99. I said, sure, I'll take $11.99 for it, because these things don't sell very well, and I've already made my money back on this pallet that these came off anyway, so it doesn't matter really what I sell it for, as long as I get it, out of my, off my shelves. So I said, sure, take it. I changed the listing to the best offer. I remember, I'm pretty sure it was on a Thursday, and he wanted to accept it for the next day, because that's when he got his check. So I'm like, oh, great. You are waiting to get your check to buy a $12 Barbie little toy right here. You do not need to be buying this, This is not something you really need to be buying. But anyways, he sends the offer, and then I accept it. And then now with the update finally kicked in, for me at least, it was his card got auto charged. So then that confused him, because he didn't understand, because he sent me a message too about what does auto pay mean. Like, he didn't understand how that it was already charged. But he had sent me the offer thing again, and I accepted it, because I thought he wanted both of them. No, he only wanted the one, but the auto pay thing was confusing him. So then, it wasn't until the next morning, I had already had them both packed up. I already had printed the label off, and it was sitting on the porch, ready to be picked up. And I wasn't even home. I was at work. Luckily, saw the message, was able to call the house, and the package, got put back in the house just in time, because the mailman, was here 5-10 minutes later. So, because that would have been a whole disaster. At that point, I would have just refunded him the $12 and told him just keep it. It wouldn't be worth sending it back. It's not worth it. So, even with him paying for the return shipping. So, like I said, I see that message, because he didn't understand that with the auto pay, his card was charged already. He had bought it. That's what he wasn't understanding. He had bought it, and because that's what he was sending me the messages of the next day. Did I get it? Yes. Do not understand. Wasn't understanding that he had got it. So I had to avoid that label. And then print a new label off and just send it out the next day. But then, like 2 or 3 days later, he sends me another message. Why do I have 2 tracking numbers? I'm just banging my head off my desk. I told you that. I thought you wanted 2. I had to print the label for 2, and I had to avoid that label. So, eventually it did. It got to him, I think, today or yesterday, whatever, and he left feedback. So, we're done. Done with that guy. I contemplated blocking him, because he's quite annoying. For for $12 free ship. That was quite, a lot more work than it needed to be. Alright, next we have this, Toro gutter cleaner kit. Sold it for $40 plus $10 ship. It's been around a while, so I know plenty of offers, but finally managed to sell it. This was one of my things my brother got, one of his giant Toro pellets that he bought so long ago now. And these gutter cleaning kits have been just so hard to get rid of. So at this point he was practically, giving them away. He estimated his cost of goods on each thing was $20, and he was selling them for $10, just to get rid of them, because he had already made money. But I figured, I'd looked up the sell-through rate, and I'm like, yeah, they're pretty good on eBay. Let's throw it up on eBay, and that's just one less thing to try and sell locally. So I finally did manage to sell it for $40, and dropped that off at FedEx yesterday. Next, sold one of my bouncing beats for $20 plus 12 ship. I'm pretty sure I upped the shipping on this after the last one, because it kind of didn't charge quite enough. So that was from that Fisher Price pellet that was not worth getting. Almost done with that pellet. I still have a couple things. I still have all the Power Wheels that were on it. And then there's some action figures that are just never going to sell. They're just, nobody wants them. I'm just pretty sure I'm just going to end up donating them for Toys for Tots this year, because they're just impossible to get rid of. Next is this Alachua County, Florida Fire Rescue, $7.99. This Exeter Township Fire Marshal, $5.99. One of these At Games Legend Core Plus, 100 built-in games, yada yada yada, whatever. Sold it for 40. No, this sold out on offer $35.99 free ship. As you can see, I had 4 total. This is from that Sam's Club pellet that I'm pretty sure I showed you guys last week. That's from that Sam's Club pellet, and there was 4 that were sealed, and then there's 1 that was open, new open box. Next, City of Houston Fire Department Paramedic, $5.99. Next, here's another nice thing that I sold. Sold this out on offer, $58.49. This Graco Magnum 257 025 paint sprayer. I sold it for parts because I plugged it in and didn't really do anything, and it's missing parts anyways. The box on it even said that. This also came from that Home Depot pellet that the pet safe thing came on. And I've just kind of just finally got around to actually getting this listed. And it even said on the box from Home Depot, missing parts. So that's why it's missing like the paint hose, which is, kind of important. So I just threw it up for parts kind of cheap. Charged good on the shipping because this is quite big. And as you can see, it's used. So, but I did have, a guy did send me a message on this. Would I take, 50 plus the 30 shipping for it? But then he also asked about the paint hose, and I said no, it didn't. And I never heard back from him. And I didn't hear anything else, so I just figured whatever. He was no longer interested. But I sent out the offer. And he ended up taking it, which worked out for me. I got, an extra $8.50 out of it. And he's only in Pennsylvania too, so the shipping, I'll make a little bit on that as well. So it'll only be about $20, I think. Next was this Wagner Flexio 2500 paint sprayer. One of the many paint sprayers I got, sold out on offer $26.99, plus 15 ship on this. And this was staying in New York, so it's not going too far. And this is something I underestimated. I thought this would fit in a large priority mailbox. It doesn't. It's like a little bit too tall. I mean, I could have maybe made it work. I just ended up using a Home Depot extra small box and just threw it in there, and it's still. It didn't go 720 priority, but it was still under $8. So. But it still stayed cheap, so it didn't matter. Anyways, so speaking of how weekend sales were horrible, what was it? This was part of the weekend sales. This was, I think, the Exeter Township. I only sold 5 things over the weekend between the 2 accounts, but one of them, this was the better sale for the week at the $35, and then this sold Monday. And so did this. So that was nice to have these 2 nice ones. The 2 nice, hefty, sales price sales. And then this last thing, this Redondo Beach paramedic for $7.99. But like the guy sent me the message for this like Saturday or Sunday. And then it was just Monday by the time he bought it. But I was quite annoyed when I seen this had sold, because then I knew I was going to have to go back to FedEx, because this I think sold like Friday, and I packed it I think Saturday, but I didn't take it Saturday. I figured I'll wait till the weekend, see if anything else sold, to try and avoid that going to FedEx twice thing. Then of course this sold, but I knew I needed to get this. The gutter cleaner dropped off at FedEx because it had already been so long, so I wanted to hurry up and get it there. Because I knew that paint sprayer, it was at storage, so I wouldn't be able to pick it up till, midnight, so it wouldn't get shipped out till the next day anyway, so. But it's gonna, which technically, was yesterday, but it's gonna get shipped out, tomorrow here. Alright, that's enough talking. Alright, let's try and blow through these real quick. So I sold this City of Miami subdued one. I did not sell this out on part of the 15% off sale. It sold at full price. As you can see on this account, I did a 15% off sale to try and get a couple things moving here. It hasn't really worked so far. It's only gotten me, I think, like 2 or 3 things. But here's that New Orleans Special Forces one that I was talking about, $6.99, that I wouldn't let me print standard envelope. So this is the last thing that I sent out my standard way. Next was Montgomery County, Maryland Public Schools Security, just a very small little hat patch, $6.99. Sandy Springs, Georgia Police sold out on offer, $4.49. Allegheny County Police in Pennsylvania, $4.99. The NFTA Halloween patch, the guy did end up paying. Now this I had charged for Ground Advantage because this listing was before the patches were eligible, so I sent it out Ground Advantage. Anyways, and this is something I'd rather have sent Ground Advantage anyways, compared to standard envelope, just for the insurance and the better tracking, because I don't want really anything to happen to this, because otherwise I'm going to have to send a mine, and then I'm going to have to try and find, scrounge up another one, third party, because I don't know if I can get them from NFTA Police again, because that's where I bought them from originally. Oh yeah, I only made a couple bucks on this, like I figured I would. Anyways, at the $15 because it cost me 10, so not the greatest thing. So I would have been fine if it didn't. If the guy didn't end up ever paying. Next, Toledo, Ohio sold out an offer, $3.59. Baltimore County, Maryland Police, $4.99. The Staunton, Virginia Police sold out an offer, $5.39. This Fremont, California sold out on offer as well on top of the 15% off for it just sold at the 15% off, $3.39. Even though I remember I sent an offer on this and it got accepted afterwards. I thought it was the discount. Anyways, next was Erie County Sheriff's bills patch. Sold that as part of the 15% off at $25.49. Free ship. Sent this Ground Advantage because it's too pricey, and that's how I originally had it set up anyways. And then the last thing that sold was this Barnstable County Sheriff's Office. Sold that out on offer. Oh no, this one got sold for an additional 10% off, 15, so 25% off at $5.35. So that's everything that's sold over the last week, and the little bit of drama that has occurred over the last week as well with eBay here. So I'm at the end of this year, I'm gonna throw in an update of the storage unit. I built the other shelf and kind of just showing what it looks like at the moment. I'll throw that in here at the end, and then other than that, we'll see you guys with next week's sales. Alright, we'll do a little storage unit update. We finally built the third shelf, which was much needed. I didn't show you before, but I did take a picture of it. It's much better now to have, these on the shelf. The rest of the bleach that I still have, the other 3 boxes on the shelf, and then I can obviously add some other stuff from another pallet in here. So I could definitely fit another pallet in here. Like, there's a bit of space there. That shelf's pretty much empty now because the stuff that was on there was those bulkier boxes that we shoved up there because they were kind of in the way because they were sticking out, so they're just in the way. So we put them up there. And then there's this free shelf, a little bit of room on top here. That stuff which doesn't, that could always go like up there, or the Oric or whatever can be shoved over there or whatever that. So that shelf could easily be freed up if needed. And then there's like a little bit of space on the end right there. And there's this little bit of space, but I'm thinking about some of the stuff that's at home that's been sitting there around a while that's not likely going to sell anytime soon, kind of shoving that there. Kind of like how there's these couple things here that are like the longer term things that I don't think are going to sell anytime soon, and take those and shove them probably in there. And then I'm hoping to get this shelf back with these Legos, hoping to get those out of here for Christmas time, as it's now November 1st, or no, not even the 1st anymore. A couple days into November, but I think eBay's kind of killing. Nobody asked you. But I think eBay's kind of killing the listing, because I now had another chargeback. So now I've had 4 chargebacks on that. So I think eBay's kind of killed my listing a bit. That, and it's kind of old now, but I do have a promoted listing, so it should be showing up towards the top. But I'm thinking about taking like half of, because there's still like 20 something left, taking, cutting that listing in half, doing another listing with the other 10, I think, to hopefully revive that listing, because I haven't really sold any in a while, to get it revived here and get those out of here and free that space up. And I'm hoping to sell the Barbies to free up some more of that shelf again. But then the rest of this is kind of like this. These I'm hoping in the wintertime, snowplows will be nailing mailboxes, and people will be going to Facebook to get new mailboxes and not Home Depot, is the hope. And then this is all just like spring stuff, lawn edging, the sprayers, that hose up there that you can't even see, that's all just springtime stuff. Same with these planters. That bubble wrap hopefully I'll need, so I can take that back. And then the rest of this is kind of just that Home Depot stuff. Whenever it sells, it sells. But same with this is more like a spring thing. That tire swing. This deodorant, I think I'm going to take out of here, because it does say on it, don't keep from extreme heat or cold. And I think it will definitely have extreme cold, I think. So I do want to take these back to where they'll be upstairs. I got a space for them where they can be climate controlled, so that'll also free up that shelf as well. So that's kind of what the storage unit's looking like at the moment. So yeah, let's see, there's that Sam's Club pallet, 2 Targets, a Home Depot. Technically there's another Home Depot. There's the Home Depot gas, which is where that came from, that trimmer, or that other hedge trimmer, and a couple of other things shoved on that shelf. So yeah, I could fit 5 pallets in here. Granted, that gas was a pretty small one. That Sam's Club, most of that's still at the house, and that was fairly small too. A lot of it was clothes that are at the house. That Target was fairly big, but I have sold through quite a bit of the bleach, which is what all this is, minus that box. It's all bleach. And then there's still some cleaning supplies and stuff in the 2 boxes at the end there. There'll probably be some more, because I think James's sales box can come back until people need some refills. That stuff can come back here. And then we got James's very nice lift for his side, to put the pressure washers, snowblower, mowers, and that, to get them up there to use that good shelf space that's up there. And then there's this was where the snowblower was. The pallet jack's gonna come back in here. That'll go back there. And that mower's gotta go here somewhere.
I think to go where the dolly is. I think that's my game plan.
I don't know. It'd be nice to have the dolly out to be actually usable sometimes, but that's not a big deal. And then there'll be this bit of space. And then, but that might be, Grandma might be putting some more crap in here, or like just stacking totes over here or something. This still needs some work. The shelf, this shelf, because it's got so much wasted space. So like either some of the stuff that's in bags and boxes and whatever needs to go in a tote, needs to go in totes that'll stack much easier. But I'm also thinking about putting another partial shelf, so like right where it's like where that pole is, kind of just right in line with that shelf, to free up some more vertical space, because you figure you can't really stack much more on top of that, and then any totes or anything can go over there, and then that can be be stacked pretty much to the ceiling. And then these pallets, those are going to be stripped for decking for this, and then more supports, because I don't trust the shape that it's in at the moment. It needs some. Okay, that's enough. Don't actually make it collapse. It needs some more.
Support there. It's on the post.
It needs a bit more work, so then that'll free up some space here as well for more James's crap, I guess. So that's the storage unit for now. It's pretty nice looking operation, that's for sure. Like I said, I could easily fit another pallet in here. And then that probably will be about max, unless we start stacking stuff in front in the aisles here.
I can get more in here.
That kind of will be close to maxing it out, unless someone else would like refills on their bleach, which I'm hoping will happen here soon. Because actually, these probably shouldn't be in here either. I'm not sure about how bleach does in the cold. That probably shouldn't be in here. Or none of this cleaning stuff actually probably should be in here. But I don't know if I really have room at the house to bring it there. I mean, I guess like the bleach could be stacked in like a corner in the basement or whatever. That's not a big deal. And that stuff's not, doesn't take up that much room. I'd have to rearrange upstairs. We're thinking about maybe rearranging up there anyways, so we'll see about that, if I can take and add more crap upstairs to be stored upstairs. So other than that, that's enough. You can get the picture.